send me a wildcard team if you want to be in my next video. Turns out quite a lot of people are wildcarding, aren't they? But today it's time to rate those wildcard teams. It's the Gameweek 31 wildcard smash or pass. So today, lads and ladies, it's rewind time. As I'm gonna go back to what made this channel with rating teams smash or pass edition, where I'll be having a browse at all of the teams that were sent to me, and I'll just give it a little tease or a little bit of a caress, and a bit of a smash if I would be happy for it to be my wildcard team, or if not, it's gonna be a pass, and that will be a like it. But we'll also be chinwagging with different strategies everyone's going for, looking at how everyone's preparing for those doubles and blanks that come in, and also to see if there's any cheeky punts in there too. But remember, none of these teams are all locked in. Every single geezer right here is probably turned into a circus clown and juggled in and out about 100 more players out of this draft. So, you know, it's probably not the final teams. So I guess we'll be a bit kind today and no spinning jaws from Bacon Boy today, okay? So let's get straight into the teams. With the first one to join us being from Dreamer FBL1 with this, where they will be dreaming of all of the points with his very, very strong and girthy squad. Now, the reason they've gone for 15 of the best geezers out here is because they still have that benchy boost to play. Ooh. So if you do have that and you do want to play it soon, you know, you will have to set up your team quite a bit different, yeah? And that is exactly what they have done here. So the first team here, gets a smash from me, lads, hey! As there actually isn't a single player I don't like in this team. Good job. But the next team is from Trihan0504 with this, where they've got a Sterling in there for just a 1 week punt, probably for captaincy, and then they're going to do a good old switcheroo back to Son for the double game week. A move we might actually see quite a lot of fellas doing right here. But then they also said that Sterling to Son transfer will give them the funds to upgrade one of the forwards if he needs to. So that Che Adams against West Brom could be a cheeky 1 week punt itself and then upgrade to someone else. Very, very sexy indeed. So with that said, it's a smash. Great team. But the next team by Cola's FBL is this, where they've been a bit of a cheeky boy here and got triple Chelsea defence, very nice, and also got the Jamie Madders in there as well, and even a Vidra up top for some extra spice as well. So they got the differentials in there, but also got the likes of a Salah, a Kane, a Son, and all that jazz. But then they did also say Vidra would become Antonio when he is fit. And then he replied, JK, Antonio is always fit, and then sent this picture of Shrek biting his lip. Okay then. So for that sexy Shreky team, it's gotta be a smash for me, because Shrek is love. But next is Joshi FM with this, where they have a relatively cheap boy defence, with Diaz being the only kind of higher priced one in there, but they have also kept 3 million in the bank, which could be used to upgrade any other geezers when they start doing terrible. But then we also have a quite damn expensive pair of rotating keepers in here with Lloris and Mendy. Like, damn son, like, is that really how you want to be spending all your money? You could buy all of the Jesse Lingard merch with that, you know? Remember to spend it wisely, kids. But you know what? This is actually the closest I've been to not smashing a team, but it is still going to get a smash for me. As I myself don't like having too much money in the bank and some cheap players in there. As you know, your future transfers could be a bit wibbly wobbly and you're having to make a transfer every single week and you might not have time to jump on some other good performing players. But now let's discuss another team with FBL Discussions Team with this, where we got the triple Spursy in here, a Kane, Bruno, Son, Salah premiums, and also a Trent in defence. And overall, a very well-rounded team covering all of the angles. But, unfortunately, FBL don't let you take any bank loans out in this game, and they have actually gone out of budget with minus 0.1 mil in the bank. I like it. So, I'm sorry, lad, but you're going to have to be the first one. You're the first team that I'm going to pass. And by the looks of it, you're going to have to pass as well, because you can't even afford it. I like it. But the next team looking for some violence is FBL Militant with this. Now this one is an extra cheeky and an extra spicy one, yeah? As we have a Gabriel Jesus, an Odegaard, and even a Lucas Moura in there as well. Differential FC up in the house. And you know what? They could all do very, very well with some very good fixtures in there as well. So, you know, it's got to be a big boy smash from me well in. Yes, lad. But the next team to have a little nibble at, it's Wally Chomp with this, where we've got a 1 week punter of the Mahrez, and then also some slightly differential options in there, with a Lloris in goals, a Castagna, and also even a Burn in there to play in the blank game week. Because that is something you all need to remember, that when Spurs and Man City blank in game week 33, you will need your bench players to play, like the 9-foot Dan Burn here ready to play against Sheffield United that game week. So, you know, a Brighton defender is very good to stay on the bench, but also play when you need him to. Very nice. So for that very forward-thinking planning, it's gonna be a smash for me again, hey. But the next team to maybe spin some jaws and also spin some decks here is DJ Maxi84 with this, Now this one right here is actually an interesting one, right? Where you still have Salah, Kane and Bruno, and also still got Chelsea and Liverpool defence in there. And even got some great differentials like a Saka and a Castagna. But they have somehow managed to keep 5.6 million in their bank. Oh, whoa, pints on you, lads, cheers. But they've done this so they can get Son in for the double, and with that money, they can literally upgrade any fella they fancy and whatever one doesn't look up for it. But even though that is a good strategy for most, I myself am not actually the biggest fan of leaving that much money in the bank, even though you're going to do a transfer next week, because you never know what kind of injuries you might get, you know? And it's not the best ideas to bookmark so many transfers in advance on your wildcard, you know? And especially when you have players like Fabianski and this defensive backline, it's a bit wibbly-wobbly for me and not too sure of it. So guess what? It's a bit of a lucky to you because I'm going to give you a pass. Sorry lad, not a bad team, but not for me. But the next team in is from Mart in Thabit with this. Where we've got a double Arsenal defence, a triple Spursy, but also two of them on the bench this week. You know, they're there for the double. But then also we got some big differentials in there with a Richarlison coming in too. Ooh, nice one. Where overall, you know, it's a very well-rounded team and a perfect balance between safe and punty, I would say. Where if some of them do really pay off, that is a massive green coming your way. Where, hey, so it's going to be a smash for me. But the next team looking to create some power, it's Paddy Jim with this. Where we got a Sice and a Smith Rowe, rotating Mendy on Lloris, but also got the Kane, the Son and the Salah as well. So it's a very nice balanced team, also sprinkled and seasoned with some differentials in there as well, but also does not have any Man City players, which is actually quite a common thing with a lot of people with wildcards this week. And could that call be a bit of an unlucky wibbly wobbly? We're yet to find out. But this team is going to be a smash for me. But the next team is by PC Dell that looks like this. Where we've got the Ricardo Pereira at the back and a hold-in, but apart from that, it's kind of as expected really, isn't it? You could say a bit plain and boring with no seasoning, but then again, is that really a bad thing? Because, you know, all of these players can get all of the points. But you know what? I do actually like this Davis bench fodder up front that you got here. As you always know who you're going to play, you know. You're never going to be tempted to chuck him on there. But then also he could get some minutes if you really need him to. Because, you know, it's all well and good to have an amazing and great squad of 15 players, right? But then when you're having to do your own pep roulette and change your starting 11 every single game, you might end up with all of the bench points. And it's not very headache friendly. So that is not the best of ideas sometimes. But this team, good team. It's a smash for me. But the next team is by Mirage GMC with this. Where they have set up to do a bit of a benchy boost here in Gameweek 32. Because if you still have it, you've got to prepare your team slightly different, haven't you? But that is the problem with a bench boost. You might have this very well-rounded squad, right? And you might do an amazing on the bench boost. But then the rest of the weeks for the rest of the season is going to be proper wibbly-wobbly. All of the bench points FC in it. Because when all of your funds are spread out across your entire team, sometimes it is a bit harder to get in those Salahs, those Brunos, and you know, if one of them turns into amazing good form, and you really want them, and all of a sudden you need to do 6 different transfers just to get them. Oh dear. But isn't that a weird thing, that FBL? If you have an amazing squad of 15 players, all great players, that's not actually a good thing, because you only want good 11. Okay then. But nah, I think you need to find that good balance, and you know, this is good for the bench boost, but might be a bit of a wobbly one after. But with that said, because you're bench boosting, I'm still gonna have to give it a smash. Yeah, hey, well done. But I myself would probably try and trim the squad just a tiny bit in there, so you don't get into a bit of a sticky pickle later on down the season. But the next team to try and clown on their competition, it's Moakly the clown with this. Where they've only gone and done it here, lads, with not 1, not a 2, not a 3, but 4 triple ups on teams. Whoa. Where we got a triple Spursy, a triple Chelsea defence, a triple Leicester attack, and also the triple Liverpool in there as well. But then they also got some good differentials in there with a Mahrez probably 1 week punt and a Semedo as well. But the only big boy problem with this team is good freaking luck choosing to start an 11 with this one, right? Where even down to the goalkeepers, you probably want to play all of these players every single game week. And now you're stuck with 20 points in your bench every week and a bit of wobbly. So with that said, I myself, I'm actually going to pass this team, as I'd much rather splash the cash into players I know I'm guaranteed to start, right? Where because they've spread out the funds so much in this team, they're actually missing the likes of a Bruno or Salah who could go big the rest of the season. Especially when you're thinking about who you're going to captain. If they're likely to be a captain and you don't have them, oh dear. But the next team to look at, it's by Concorn93 and it looks like this. Where we do really have all of the spicy picks in here, with a Chris Wood, who hopefully can give you all the wood when he scores all the goals, but also a Mason Mount and a Benjamin Mendy. Oh boy, I like that. Whoa. Where you see a lot of people, you know, socially distancing from the Man City squad right now because of all the rotation risks they have right now. But with that said, does that mean the fringe players like a Benjamin Mendy could actually get more games out and actually provide amazing value and returns right now that no one else is going to have? And you know what? I think it could. Maybe so. But I also like you've kept a Rafinha and a Martinez in there. Ones that, although they have tough fixtures, you know they're players that you can rely on, and ones that you might have to use later on down the season. And you know, they've done so well and proved their worth. You kept them in your squad and not chucked them in the bin. I like it. So this is going to have to be a smash for me. Great team. But next, it's Mark9999999 with their team, which looks like this. Where can you all spot the West Ham fan right here? Now, I don't know if he is a West Ham fan, but he's got triple West Ham, something we actually haven't seen too much of as of late. But here, they have gone a bit heavier up top, I would say, with a Kane, Son, Salah and Bruno in the premiums, but then also still a very nice defence as well. But that's if they actually play, right? As a Rudiger, a Stones, a Shaw, and maybe even a Phillips might not be guaranteed to play all the time, you know? And yeah, it is unlikely they all miss out in the same game week, you know, but it's still kind of risky in my opinion. And it might be okay, but you also don't want to force yourself some future problems. So it's in between for me, but still good enough for a smash. Just put a paper bag over it, it's all good. But the next team is by LFC Zander6 with this. Where yes, I like it. Where we've got the Kane-Son double act there, the Bruno Fernandes and the Jota instead of a Salah, which I rate more. But then you also have the nailed-on Chelsea defender in Azpilicueta along with Mendy to double up. But then you also have a Kevin De Bruyne in there too, hey, which is just the extra cherry on top for me. Now, my only slight tiny issue with this would be, I guess you'd be rotating between Cody and Holding. And although they have the best ever fixtures right now, both of their defenders are wibbly-wobbly, so if both of them don't turn it around, you might have a bit of a problem with getting some returns with them. But then again, with the price, what are you really expecting anyway? And all the more differential points for you if it works out as well. So this one is going to have to be the biggest of the big boy smashes, and actually my biggest smash yet, mainly because of that Kevin De Bruyne in there. And also, it's just one of the most similar to my draft right now, I'd say, so well done. But next, we've got the famous YouTuber, FBL Tips with this. Where he's got the double Leicester attack, a Kane-Son double, and also a Bruno, Jota and Lingard. And then also the very good defence of Trent, Cresswell and Castagna with great backups in Konsa and Holding. So he's managed to cover all of the great fixtures in here, where I guess that Iheanacho and Castagna are, you know, quite differential as well. But all around, a very well-rounded team, where you can also clearly see who are going to be the starting players as well. And no bench and headache, you're absolutely just going for it. So this team is going to be a smash for me, lads. And I reckon you should all go to FBL Tips channel and smash that subscribe button, and he will very much appreciate that. Nice one. But next, it's not quite Ollie Ball, unfortunately, but it's Ollie Fishlock with this. Where they've gone for a bit of a different strategy here, and one that I actually prefer, you know, of very minimum priced benched players. And just go all balls out for your starting team. Where here he has the likes of a Mitchell and a Burke, very cheap players, but ones that are going to be benched every week. But then with that, it allows him to get in a Salah, a Bruno, a Son, Kane, and even a Lacazette and a Trent in there as well. Where yeah, there might be some weeks where you are relying on Burke and Mitchell to actually play a little bit, you know, a little bit of a cameo. But with most of these players nailed, then it should be alright. But I myself would probably try and fit in at least one more starter just in case, because you never know. But this team is absolutely smashing for me. But then the next team is by FBL Marsh, and it looks like this. Where, ooh baby, we've got the very cheeky Ferran Torres punt in here. Very nice, I like that. But we've also got a Masuaku, a Vidra and a Holding in here. Three very low owned players, but ones that just might sit on your bench and quite cheap anyway. But then if you do need them to play, and they do bits, that is all of the points for you, where hey. But I do like you've got a Salah, Bruno, Kane, as well as a Trent, Diaz and Mendy in there as well. So you've covered all the premiums, you cover in all the teams that are fighting, and it has fought your way to a smash right here. But the next team here is by Gavin Yates 7, and it looks like this. Where we got a very, very, very cheap boy defence here, apart from the Diaz man. But also, you are still covering the Chelsea and the Liverpool and even Arsenal fixtures, so not bad at all. And then you also have the budget enabler in Smith Rowe in there to accommodate a Salah, a Bruno, a Son, a Kane, and also a Jesus in there for a sexy one-week punt as well. Very, very nice. So all the eggs in the premium basket there, and a basket that's a definitely smash for me. But actually, the main reason I wanted to smash this team is because of the Tesco Mobile up there. Hey, up the Tesco Mobile, hey. But next, and actually the final team I'm going to look at today, it's FBL Creed with this. where he's got Sterling in there for the captain. He's got a Kane regular on double instead of a Kane Son. And also some cheeky boys in there with a Maddison and Richarlison as well. Big moves there, lad. But overall, it's a very good squad with that triple Liverpool that we see quite a lot actually, with a Salah, Trent and Jota. And overall, a great squad to finish it off with a nice big boy smash, where hey. But that is it for the rating of Game Week 31 Wildcard Draft Smash or Pass Edition. Aha. Or is it? Where to really finish it off, I'm actually going to chuck you my latest wildcard draft, and I want all of you to smash or pass my team in the comments. Lovely stuff. So the draft, and the best ever team crafted right now, looks like this. Where I've gone for Martinez Foster in between the sticks. The main defence of Trent, Diaz and Azpilicueta with Cody and Phillips as backups. But then they also have great fixtures in that blank game week as well, where I need them to play. Then we have Sterling in here as a 1 week captaincy punt, with a Bruno, Lingard and Jota being the main midfield. And then Sterling can become Son next week. And then also we have a Neto in here if any of the other fellas miss out. And then we have the strike force of Kane, Lacazette and Iheanacho. Kane, just Kane. Lacazette, great fixtures. Iheanacho, great fixtures and great form. So with this, I also have a Cody with great fixtures covering the defenders. I have a Neto in here if either like a Jota, a Lacazette or Iheanacho get dropped or just missing. And then I also have the Sterling 1 week punt, potentially one of the best captains this week, who I can then transfer to Son next week when he has a double, and that is all great stuff. And actually, that transfer actually allows me to upgrade Lacazette to Vardy if I really wanted to next week as well. Aha. So right here, I'm covering those doubles and those blanks. I'm opening up options all around my squad if a great performing striker or midfielder I really want to get in. And also, I've just got players that I can rely on for the rest of the season. Now, unfortunately, I haven't actually got any proper cheeky punts in here, really, do I? But then again, a Lacazette and Iheanacho and Jota, they're actually quite low owned. But in terms of wildcard teams, it just looks a bit boring, doesn't it? So maybe that might change. I might add a bit more of a different punt in there. But this right here is actually Bacon Boy's current draft right now and the team I am happy with for now. But that is it for today. But also remember, you can follow all of the geezers' teams I looked at today with all of their Twitter names displayed with their teams. And apologies if I didn't put your team in here and I left you out. There's a bit of a unlucky for you, but there were like 50 teams. So what do you expect me to do? Work like 36 hours a day? I can't do it, man, okay? But that is gonna have to be all. So thanks for watching. Please smash responsibly. And remember...
Don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now. Don't let your memes be dreams.